I will never trust her anymore again.
But to understand how Daniel arrived at this moment of complete destruction, we must go back 7 years, back to where it all began. This is a story about love and betrayal, about patience and cruelty, about seeds that refuse to grow and lies that cannot stay buried. This is the seed of patience. Our story has 4 souls whose lives will intertwine in ways none of them could imagine. Daniel Okafor, a 35-year-old successful businessman, hardworking, devoted, but a man who will soon face an impossible choice between love and tradition. Amara Okafor, Daniel's first wife, 32 years old, gentle as morning rain, strong as ancient trees, and deeply in love with her husband, but she carries a burden that will test her spirit beyond measure. Blessing Okafor, 28 years old, beautiful and cunning, she will become the second wife, but beneath her sweet smile lie secrets that will shatter everything. And Mama Blessing, 55 years old, Blessing's mother, sharp-tongued, manipulative, ruthless, a woman who sees marriage not as love, but as war. And in war, she believes, there are only victors and victims. These 4 people, one house, and a truth that will eventually destroy them all. Our story begins 7 years ago in a beautifully decorated living room where a simple medical report is about to change 3 lives forever. A report that will bring cruelty, betrayal, miracles, and a revelation so shocking it will leave you breathless. Are you ready? Then let me take you back to the day Amara's world fell apart. But before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments sections where you're watching from. We will love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. 7 years ago, Daniel and Amara Okafor sat together in their beautifully decorated living room, but the beauty of their home could not mask the heaviness in the air. Between them, on the coffee table, lay a medical report that had just destroyed Amara's world. Amara's voice trembled as tears streamed down her face. "The doctor said my chances are less than 5%, Daniel. 5%!" She pulled away from her husband's embrace, sobbing uncontrollably. "But it changes everything. Your mother calls every week asking when she'll carry her grandchild. Your brothers make jokes about me being decorative. I see the pity in their eyes, Daniel, the shame." Daniel pulled her close, his voice firm with conviction. "You are not a shame to me. You are my pride." But Amara looked into his eyes with a pain so raw it could cut through steel. "Then why do I feel like I'm failing you every single day?" Daniel had no answer. He simply held his wife as she cried, not knowing that this moment was just the beginning of a nightmare that would test them beyond anything they could imagine. The pressure started small, like a crack in a dam. Daniel's mother called more frequently. Family gatherings became uncomfortable. Whispers followed them everywhere. Then, one Sunday afternoon, everything changed. Daniel's mother, a stern woman who ruled her family with an iron fist, called him into her bedroom privately. "How long will you continue this?" she demanded. 4 years of marriage and nothing to show for it? "Mama, we are happy," Daniel began, but his mother cut him off with a wave of her hand. "Happy? Is happiness going to carry on the Okafor name? Is happiness going to give me grandchildren before I die?" She leaned forward, her voice dropping to a manipulative whisper. "Take another wife. It is our tradition. Your grandfather did it. Your uncle did it. There is no shame in it." Daniel felt like the walls were closing in. "Mama, I love Amara." His mother's voice turned soft, poisonous. Then love her and give her the gift of a child in this house, because right now all she carries is emptiness, and that emptiness will destroy you, and destroy this family. The seed had been planted, a poisonous seed that would grow into a tree of lies, betrayal, and heartbreak. 3 months later at church, Daniel's world shifted again. Across the aisle sat a young woman named Blessing with her mother, Mama Blessing, by her side. Blessing was beautiful, with a demure smile and eyes that seemed innocent, but appearances, as Daniel would learn, can be devastatingly deceptive. After the service, Mama Blessing approached Daniel and Amara with an overly friendly greeting. "Brother Daniel, Sister Amara, how wonderful to see you both." She introduced her daughter, who had just returned from Port Harcourt. As they walked away, Mama Blessing whispered to her daughter, her voice dripping with calculated greed. "That is the one, the rich man with the barren wife. This is your opportunity, my daughter." Blessing smiled wickedly. "Yes, Mama, I understand." The trap had been set. Over the next few months, the pressure on Daniel became unbearable. His mother, his uncles, even the pastor began suggesting that taking a second wife was God's will. They told him that if he truly loved Amara, he would give her the joy of raising a child, even if it wasn't her own. One evening, 3 months later, Daniel sat in his living room with his hands on his head while Amara stood by the window, her shoulders shaking with silent sobs. "I never wanted this, Amara," Daniel said, his voice filled with anguish. "You have to believe me." Amara turned, tears streaming down her face. "Then why? Why did you agree?" "Because everyone, my mother, my uncles, even the pastor, said it was God's will. They said if I truly loved you, I would give you the joy of raising a child, even if—" Amara's scream cut through the room like a knife. "Even if it's not my child? Even if I have to watch another woman carry what I cannot? You call that love?" Daniel tried to explain, tried to make her understand the suffocating pressure he felt, but his words only made things worse. Finally, Amara pulled away from him, her voice hollow and broken. "Do what you must, Daniel, but know this: the man I married died today." She walked to their bedroom and closed the door. Daniel collapsed on the couch, head in his hands, not realizing that his decision would lead them all down a path of cruelty and deception. A small traditional ceremony took place. Blessing became the second wife. Amara watched from the upstairs window, hidden behind curtains, tears streaming down her face as her world crumbled. Mama Blessing stood below, smirking in satisfaction. Her plan was working perfectly. Blessing moved into a separate wing of the house, and with her came Mama Blessing, visiting frequently, taking charge, rearranging things, giving orders, and slowly, cruelly, Amara became a ghost in her own home. What happened next would test Amara's spirit in ways that would break most people. One morning in the kitchen, Amara prepared breakfast, trying to maintain some sense of purpose. Mama Blessing entered with Blessing, sniffing the air dramatically. "What kind of food is this? You want to poison my daughter with your tasteless cooking?" "Good morning, Mama. I made—" Amara tried to respond, but Mama Blessing shoved the pot aside. "I don't care what you made. From now on, Blessing will supervise the kitchen. You are just a helper here now. Know your place." Blessing added with fake sweetness, "Mama, don't be harsh. Sister Amara is still trying her best, aren't you, sister?" Amara swallowed her pride, her voice barely above a whisper. "Yes." Mama Blessing laughed, a cruel, cutting sound. "Trying her best? Her best couldn't even produce one child. What good is a woman who cannot do the one thing she was created for?" Amara's hands trembled as she continued to stir the pot, her tears dropping into the food. She said nothing. She had learned that silence was her only shield. This was just the beginning. 2 months later, Blessing made an announcement that would change everything. She stood before Daniel in the living room, glowing with Mama Blessing behind her like a proud puppet master. "Daniel, I have news. I'm pregnant." Daniel's face transformed. Joy, relief, vindication flooded through him. He stood and hugged Blessing carefully, his voice choked with emotion. Thank you, Blessing. Thank you, God." Mama Blessing's voice boomed through the house. "You see, this is what a real woman brings to a home. Blessings, not curses." From the kitchen doorway, Amara appeared, having heard everything. She froze, her face a mask of agony. Mama Blessing turned to her, her cruelty reaching new heights. "Oh, barren woman, come and congratulate the woman who succeeded where you'd failed." The silence that followed was suffocating, painful. Finally, Amara's voice came out, barely audible. "Congratulations." She turned and walked away, disappearing upstairs. Daniel watched her go, guilt written all over his face, but he didn't follow her. He was too consumed with his own joy, too blinded by the promise of a child to see the woman he loved dying inside. The months that followed were a living hell for Amara. Mama Blessing forced her to serve meals, then accidentally spilled soup on her dress, berating her for being clumsy. Blessing received expensive gifts from Daniel, while Amara watched from the stairs, invisible, forgotten. Mama Blessing made her wash Blessing's clothes by hand, saying with wicked satisfaction, "You must serve the woman carrying the seed you couldn't plant." Every night, Amara cried herself to sleep, clutching a photo of her wedding day, remembering the man Daniel used to be. And Daniel? He was oblivious, consumed with excitement about the coming baby. He didn't see the torture happening in his own home. He didn't see his first wife being treated like a servant. He didn't see the cruelty. He didn't see anything except his own redemption. 9 months later, in a hospital room filled with celebration, Blessing gave birth to a baby boy. Daniel held his son with tears of joy streaming down his face. Mama Blessing took photos, announcing it to everyone, basking in their victory. And in the corner of the room stood Amara, a guest in her own family, invisible even at the birth of the child that should have brought them together. Daniel kissed Blessing's forehead, his voice filled with gratitude. "Thank you for giving me a son. Thank you." He didn't even glance at Amara. She might as well have not existed. Over the following weeks, Mama Blessing and Blessing's cruelty reached its peak. Amara was treated like a maid, insulted daily, excluded from all family decisions about the baby. She moved through the house like a shadow, surviving on faith alone, praying for a miracle she no longer believed would come. Late one night, Amara sat on the floor of her bedroom, completely broken. She had reached the end of her rope. In her hand, she held a bottle of sleeping pills, staring at them, contemplating the unthinkable. She poured them into her palm, whispering through her tears, "God, if you're there, if you hear the prayers of broken women, just let this end." But then something happened. She doubled over in sudden pain and vomited into a bucket beside her bed. Confused, she touched her stomach, and slowly, impossibly, realization began to dawn. Her eyes widened in shock. "No, it can't be!" The next day, Amara secretly visited a doctor. The test confirmed what seemed impossible. She was pregnant, 6 weeks. For the first time in years, hope flickered in her heart, but it was a fragile hope, one she knew could be crushed at any moment. So she decided to keep it secret. She would hide her pregnancy for as long as possible, protecting this miracle from the cruelty that surrounded her. Over the next months, Amara wore loose clothes and avoided everyone. Mama Blessing and Blessing were too busy with the baby to notice. Daniel was distant, consumed with his son, and Amara moved like a shadow, protecting the precious life growing inside her. At 5 months pregnant, she stood in her bathroom, looking at herself in the mirror, touching her small but visible bump. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered to her reflection, "Not yet. I'll tell them when I'm sure, when they can't hurt you, when they can't take this away from me." She endured, she survived, she waited, and then at 7 months, she could hide it no longer. One evening during a family gathering, Amara emerged from upstairs. She descended the staircase slowly, her pregnancy now clearly visible. Everyone stopped talking, jaws dropped, the room fell into stunned silence. Daniel stood up, shock written all over his face. "Amara?" Mama Blessing screamed, her voice filled with rage and disbelief. "What kind of witchcraft is this?" Blessing panicked, her voice rising. "That's impossible! The doctor said she was barren!" But Amara stood there, calm, dignified, with quiet strength radiating from her. She touched her belly and spoke with a voice that commanded the room. "The doctors said my chances were low, not zero. God's timing is not man's timing." Daniel approached her, emotion overwhelming him. "Why didn't you tell me?" Amara looked into his eyes, and for the first time in months, she spoke her truth. "Because you stopped being my husband. You stopped seeing me. I wasn't sure you'd even care." The silence that followed was deafening. Daniel's guilt crashed over him like a tidal wave, and in the corner, Mama Blessing's face twisted with fury. This changed everything. Her plan, her daughter's position, everything was now threatened. That night, at Mama Blessing's house, she paced frantically while Blessing cried, "This changes everything! If that woman gives birth, your position is threatened!" "What do I do, Mama?" Blessing sobbed. Mama Blessing's eyes darkened with malice. "We must act quickly. That pregnancy cannot reach full term." She pulled out her phone, making a suspicious call. Evil was brewing, and Amara's life was now in danger. A few days later, Amara carefully descended the staircase in the afternoon. Without warning, Mama Blessing accidentally bumped into her hard. Amara tumbled forward, but at the last second, she caught the railing, stopping her fall. Daniel appeared from nowhere, catching her in his arms. His face transformed into pure rage as he turned to Mama Blessing. "What did you just do?" Mama Blessing put on a mask of fake innocence. "It was an accident. She's so clumsy." But Daniel's roar cut through her lies. "Get out. Get out of my house now." "Daniel, you cannot speak to me," Mama Blessing tried to protest. "I said get out, and if I ever see you near my wife again, I will have you arrested." Daniel's voice shook the walls. Mama Blessing stormed out, cursing under her breath. Blessing watched from the corner, terrified, saying nothing. The balance of power had finally shifted. From that day forward, Daniel became protective of Amara in ways he should have been from the beginning. He stayed by her side, made sure she was comfortable, kept Blessing and her mother away. Guilt consumed him, but he channeled it into action. Weeks later, in a hospital delivery room, Amara gave birth to a healthy baby girl. Daniel was by her side, holding her hand, crying with both joy and shame. He kissed her forehead, his voice breaking. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for everything, for not protecting you, for not believing in us." Amara, exhausted but at peace, looked at their daughter. "She's here. That's all that matters now." Daniel held their baby girl, overwhelmed with emotion. For the first time in years, he saw Amara not as his barren wife, but as the strong, incredible woman he had married, the woman who had endured hell and still brought forth life. But while joy filled one room, darkness brewed in another part of Daniel's heart. Something had been troubling him about his son's appearance as the boy grew. Certain features didn't match up, certain timelines didn't add up, and doubt, once planted, grows like a weed. 2 weeks after his daughter's birth, Daniel sat in a private office with a DNA expert. He had secretly taken samples from the boy he called his son and submitted them for testing. His hands trembled as the expert placed an envelope on the desk. "Mr. Okafor, I have the results." Daniel opened the envelope with shaking fingers. He read the words once, twice, 3 times, his face drained of all color. The DNA expert spoke gently. "I'm sorry, there's 0 probability that you're the biological father." And suddenly, we're back where we started. The hospital corridor, the 2 envelopes, the devastating truth. 7 years of lies all crashing down in a single moment. That evening, Daniel called Blessing to the living room. She entered nervously, sensing something was wrong. Amara stood to the side, holding their baby daughter, watching. Daniel's voice was deadly calm as he held up the DNA result. "When were you going to tell me?" Blessing's face went pale. "Tell you what?" "That the child I've been raising for 7 months isn't mine." The color drained completely from Blessing's face. She stumbled backward, her hands shaking. I don't know what you... Don't insult me further with lies. Who is the father?" Silence filled the room like poison. Then Blessing broke down completely, sobbing uncontrollably. "His name is Emeka. We were together before Mama arranged this marriage. She said you were rich, that I should trap you, that once I got pregnant, you'd never question it." Daniel felt his world shattering into a million pieces. "So everything was a lie?" "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry," Blessing cried. "Mama said it was the only way. She said a barren woman's husband was easy prey." From across the room, Amara's voice rang out like steel. "Get out." Blessing looked at her, desperate. "Sister Amara, please." "I said, get out. Take your lies, your wickedness, and your mother's evil and get out of our home." Blessing fled, crying, her life of lies collapsing around her. After she was gone, Daniel sat with his head in his hands while Amara sat beside him, their daughter sleeping peacefully in her arms. "How can you even look at me?" Daniel's voice broke. "After what I did to you? After how I let them treat you?" Amara's response was quiet but powerful. "Because I loved you, even when you forgot how to love me. Because I knew the man I married was still in there, buried under pressure and tradition and everyone else's expectations." "I don't deserve you," Daniel whispered. "No, you don't." Amara paused, letting that truth settle. "But love isn't about deserving. It's about choosing every day. And I chose you even when you didn't choose me." Daniel looked at her, then at their daughter, and he broke down completely. "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." Amara reached out, taking his hand in hers. "Then prove it, not with words, with your life. Be the father our daughter deserves. Be the husband I waited for." He nodded, pulling them both into his arms, holding them like they were the only thing keeping him from drowning. And in that moment, broken as he was, Daniel finally understood what true strength looked like. It looked like Amara. It always had. 1 year later, on a bright Sunday morning, Daniel and Amara sat on the floor of their living room, playing with their daughter, who was now walking. The house was filled with laughter. The walls, which had once echoed with cruelty and pain, now rang with joy. Their daughter had Daniel's smile and Amara's strength. She toddled around the room, exploring everything with curious eyes, while her parents watched with hearts full of gratitude. "She has your smile," Amara said, watching their little girl. Daniel looked at Amara with eyes full of love and respect. "And your strength." Their daughter stumbled over to Amara, hugging her tightly. Daniel pulled out his phone and took a photo, smiling. I'm sending this to my mother with a message that says, this is my family, my complete family. Amara looked surprised. You stood up to her? I should have done it years ago, Daniel said firmly. I told her if she wants to be in our lives, she treats you with respect or she stays away. Same with everyone else. Tears filled Amara's eyes. Thank you. Don't thank me for what I should have done from the beginning. Daniel took her hand, his voice filled with conviction. But I promise you this, I will spend the rest of my life making sure you never feel invisible again. They kissed, a kiss that held years of pain, forgiveness, and hope. Their daughter clapped her hands and giggled, making them both laugh. And as the afternoon sun streamed through the windows, warming their faces, Daniel and Amara understood something profound. They had survived the storm together. As for Blessing, she returned to Emeka, the real father of her child, living with the consequences of her mother's greed. Mama Blessing's reputation was destroyed when the truth came out, and she lived in shame, having lost everything in her pursuit of wealth and status. But Daniel and Amara, they chose forgiveness over bitterness. They chose healing over revenge. They chose love over everything else. Because sometimes the greatest victory isn't in proving you were right. It's in choosing to grow from the pain. It's in choosing to love when everything tells you to hate. It's in choosing to hold on when the whole world tells you to let go. Some seeds take longer to grow. Some journeys require patience through storms that would break lesser souls. But the harvest that comes from surviving together, from choosing love day after day, even when it's hard, that harvest is sweeter than any shortcut could ever provide. This wasn't just a story about betrayal. It was a story about resilience, about a woman named Amara who held on when everything told her to let go, about a man named Daniel who finally opened his eyes before it was too late, and about the truth that can never stay buried no matter how deep you dig. This is the story of the seed of patience, and patience, as Amara proved, always bears the sweetest fruit. Which character in this story did you relate to most? Amara's patience, Daniel's weakness, Blessing's desperation, or Mama Blessing's cruelty? And why? No judgment. And if you were Amara, could you have forgiven Daniel after everything he put you through? Or would you have left and never looked back? Be honest. I will be waiting for your reply in the comments section, and make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching till the end. I'll see you on next video.